Now, some people do say that the default installation of Windows 11 is, well, what's the word they use? Bloated. It's got way too much stuff in it that you don't really need, and maybe there's some stuff that you could remove to make it more streamlined. As a result, there are actually some popular ISO images that you can download where someone has debloated Windows 11 for you. Now, without casting any aspersions or anything negative about those things, you don't actually know what you're downloading. So a safer way to do it is if you could take Microsoft's official ISO file, the image that you download, and then you could apply the same steps to strip it down yourself. And even better than that, you can do it using Microsoft's official tools. So it's the official download from Microsoft official tools, but you can tweak it to debloat Windows 11 however you would prefer. So if you want to find out more, please let me explain. Now, the way this works is that Windows 11, in fact it worked with Windows 10, has what's called an unattended installer option, which means a lot of the questions that get asked during the installation process can be predefined. And of course, it's really useful if you're installing Windows on thousands and thousands of PCs, like they do at some manufacturing sites, like they might do in some big office buildings. You don't want to have to sit there and click through all those same questions all the time. A simple one, for example, might be, what keyboard do you want defined? You can say, well, actually don't ask that question, just define a US keyboard, for example. But it turns out that this ability to customize the installer actually goes quite deep and can be quite complex. You can remove and configure all kinds of things during the Windows 11 install. So in this video, I want to show you the quickest way you can do that to get a cut down version, a debloated version of Windows 11 by downloading a predefined unattended installation script. It's an XML file basically. And then at the end, I want to show you another way that you can generate your own one where you can tick and untick all the options yourself to your heart's content. Okay, let's get cracking. Now, all the links to this video will be in the description, so if you don't know what site I'm referring to, just go and have a look in the description and you'll find out straight away. So the first thing you should do is go over to Microsoft's website and download a Windows 11 ISO file. Fairly straightforward. Pick the ISO file, download it, it's on your hard drive. Now, the next thing is to get that unattended XML file, installation XML file that I mentioned. And here in this first part, I'm going to show you there's a website which offers a couple of those files predefined for debloating Windows 11. Again, links in the description below. You go to the GitHub website, get that file, and then you are able to go ahead. Now, they've got two different files. I went with the standard one, which is basically a pretty empty version of Windows 11, hardly anything installed on it at all. They've got other ones as well. So you pick the one that you want, you download that onto your hard drive. So now you've got the ISO file from Windows on your hard drive, and you've got this XML file. Now you need to go over and get a tool called Rufus, very, very popular and useful tool for turning ISO files into bootable USB drives, so you can boot a machine from a USB drive. I use the portable version of Rufus because it just means it's just one exe, which I double click whenever I want to run it. You may want to install it, particularly if you do this kind of thing quite a lot. Now, once you get Rufus installed, you want to pick the ISO file that you downloaded from Microsoft, the Windows 11 ISO file, and then you want to basically pick your USB drive and you want to go ahead and convert that ISO file into a bootable USB drive. Now, it will ask you some more questions about configuring Windows 11. In fact, Rufus has a limited set of options for doing exactly the same thing, this unattended install configuration, but don't tick any of those because we want to put our own file on there afterwards. Now just go ahead and create your bootable USB drive. Now, once you've got that, you can have, F drive, G drive, whatever it is. You need to basically drag and drop that XML file into the root directory, the top directory on that USB drive. Simple as that. XML file, copy it across, and it's done. And now you want to boot up your machine using that USB drive. Now, this particular XML file will leave some options still available. For example, you can pick which keyboard you want. There are a few things to ask, but not very many. And then once the installation process goes through, and then of course, there's a few reboots along the way, Finally, when you get up the Windows desktop, you'll see there's hardly anything installed. Click on the start button here and there's hardly anything to see. And if you go over to the task manager, we can see that it's using much less memory. I think it's about 1.6 gigabytes. So here I have now a debloated version of Windows 11 running on my PC. Now, this particular install does come with a tool if you do want to start installing it, because it's so bare, because it's so minimum. There's nothing, hardly anything on there, not even Microsoft Store, you can't use that. Some other things don't work by default, so you use this tool and now you can tick and install things. So for example, if I tick on Firefox, I can go ahead and install that and it will install the official version of Firefox for me. So this is kind of a one-stop shop to install what you want to install on your copy there of Windows 11. Now, as I said, there is a more complicated way to do this. There is a website which will allow you to create a completely custom unattended install script, and you just go through here ticking and configuring the different things that you want. And then notice here at the bottom there's quite a big section talking about all the different programs to remove from the default Windows 11 install. But as I said, even keyboard, networking, the user account, all that stuff can be also configured here. That will generate an XML file, and exactly the same, you just copy that over onto the USB drive that you have created to boot up Windows 11, and it will follow your install options. Okay, so there you go, how you can create your own debloated version of Windows 11 using Microsoft's official ISO image, using Microsoft's official tools, and then just creating your own unattended installation script. I'd love to know how you're getting on with this and whether you're going to use it. Okay, that's it. My name's Gary Sims. This is Gary Explains. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you like these kind of videos, why not stick around by subscribing to the channel? Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.